have Daniel Radcliffe, Elijah Wood, and Emma Watson here today with you.
I wish.
Yeah, they'd be much better hosts than us.
Ugh.
Even probably at our subject matter, they'd probably do a better job.
Think of the stories they could tell.
I know. Let's just quit. Let's quit and
All
let
right.
them do it.
Who would be the biologist?
I'd say probably Emma Watson.
Yeah, Hermione. She'd go
Yeah.
into like hippogriff biology and stuff.
Yeah. Like that
She
one guy.
knows things.
What was the guy they tried doing the other series with? Fantastic Beasts. What's that guy's name?
Just kind of redheaded guy.
Yeah, what's
his
his character's
Yeah,
name?
he won an
I don't
Oscar.
remember.
Newt.
Newt Scarmander or something. I don't
Newt
remember.
Gingrich.
Yeah. Anyway, who cares?
Now, Hermione would just use her little time watch thing and go back in time and just learn everything there needs to be.
Good. And
Yeah.
one more class a day.
Because that's all you can use that for.
Hermione, maybe not that smart. Just throwing that out there.
All right.
Sorry, I'm sick today. If I start coughing or fall asleep, that's on me.
You're leading this episode.
I am leading this episode, so
You can't
Yeah.
do that.
it's going to be pretty troublesome. I'm sure if I just zonk out, but
We'll cut it when you're like asleep. We'll cut that part out.
Let's really put Braxton
Good.
to the test on this one.
Listeners, like, I would just assume he fell asleep at least twice, but you probably won't notice.
We recorded this over 6 days.
I'm a little sick
Maybe
too.
it'll be like that one time that you just fell asleep and you wake up 24 hours later and you have no idea what happened.
He blinked.
yeah, it was a blink. It was crazy. I know we kind of covered this last time we spoke, but I want to stress that it was really, really like a Matrix moment. It felt like a blink, and it was the next morning, and I felt totally rested. It's the weirdest thing I
Yeah.
think that's ever happened to me.
That's like when
So
you get a
strange.
full body, when they sedate you, like for a colonoscopy or something. That's what that
Oh,
feels
yeah.
like to me, where 1 second you're conscious and then you're just like awake and it's over.
So the reason you said I was wrong when I brought that up, the way I brought it up, I don't know. It feels weird to say as a blink because you like laid down on the couch, right?
Yeah, it was on the couch, right?
So you like laid down and then you blinked and then you woke up the next day.
I guess you could say over the course of 1 minute, probably all that took place. The 24 hours was really the one that you got a little bit wrong.
Isn't
but
that just
it's fine?
Isn't that just kind of sleep in general? Like, isn't that what
Yeah.
happens?
Yeah. You know what? Never mind. It's totally normal what happened to me.
Like, dude,
Jeff,
it was the
sick?
craziest thing. I was awake and then I like lost consciousness, and 8 hours later I woke up. It was wild.
You didn't believe it.
Yeah, I'm a weird sick though. It's just kind of like my nose keeps running.
Yeah, we played golf
But
last
it's not
night.
like I have too much.
I could hear it. He was
You're sick
snorkeling.
in the way that like Stephen King is sick. He has a bunch of kids have sex
Twisted.
at the end of a book.
Sick
Sick
and
and
Yeah.
twisted.
Yeah.
Gross, dude. That's sick. Or sick in like Tony Hawk doing a 900. There's all kinds of sick
Jeff's
you can be.
all of
You sound
those,
like you
dude.
got the worst
He
one.
contains multitudes. He's got that all wrapped up. But he's
True.
mostly sick like Tony Hawk, in my opinion.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Huh. Nah,
You're mostly sick and twisted.
probably more than
Yeah.
Tony Hawk. Tony Hawk
Yeah.
can do a lot of stuff I can't.
How
do.
much time has Tony Hawk spent on the dark web?
Yeah, that's a good point. Well, should I talk about some stuff I found on the web, or
Sure.
we have some more stuff to talk about?
No,
I felt
let's
like there
do
was
it.
some business we needed to attend to at the top of this, but maybe not.
I don't think so.
Thanks for listening, everyone. That's the business I want to attend to.
It's great business.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about some animal attacks that happened in antiquity. I don't remember exactly what inspired this, but I know it was something that Jeff either did or said recently. So once again, all credit goes to Jeff.
This is my episode.
Exactly. I'll prepare another one for next week. That's on me.
Yeah, I'm taking
so-
credit.
I gathered up 5 or 6, I think 6 stories. And actually, I've got some pictures that go along with what I'm going to be talking about. This is always fun when I screen share.
I do like that.
They all happened long enough ago. This is kind of a Hugh Glass situation where they happened long enough ago that all of the events aren't quite verifiable. There's a little bit of mystique to attend to each of them.
I like that.
Do you?
Yeah. I
Good.
just assume it's all even like less
Fake.
No, I assume
Yeah.
it's even like a lesser version of what actually happened. I think it's all true, but I think even more happened, no matter what
Yeah.
you're going to say.
You might be onto something with some of these. But yeah, so I gathered up 6 stories about some really interesting things that happened either centuries or even millennia ago. And I think you're going to find some enjoyment in hearing me talk about these, especially US. You're a
Dude.
real nut for animals.
You're
do like
obsessed with
animals.
horses, Mike. Especially white horses.
Do you want me to zoom in on this guy?
Your one map you chose.
I hate
has
that
a
horse.
big old horse. Its head's got
Shadowfax horse. Okay, so the first one, this is kind of like the centerpiece of the episode. Not that the other stories are bad. Keep listening, please. Don't turn the podcast off. We beg you.
We need those listens.
It means everything to us. The metric to see how long people listen to our episodes, that's what really keeps us going. Okay, so the first one, it takes place in Constantinople. I'm not going to tell you the title of the article that I pulled this story from because it's going to kind of spoil it, but I will say that it came from GreekReporter.com. At least most of the information I gathered for this episode, that's where it comes from, written by a guy named Alexander Grail. But this is like a very widely disseminated story that is known mostly in conjunction with inspiring, in part, the events of Moby Dick. And it's not the one you're probably thinking of, Wes. This happened much further, longer ago than, what is it, the Essex? I forget what the book was.
Whale Ship Essex, Heart of the Sea. We're going to cover that.
There's
story.
two Moby Dick stories?
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, dude,
realize
there's
that.
probably more. But this one, Herman Melville, actually, he did cite this as kind of a smaller inspiration. He mostly pulled from the Essex story, though. But this is still pretty cool. Do you want to hear me tell it, or should we just shut it down?
I want to hear it.
Okay. So,
My interest is piqued.
as you know, at the height of its power, the Byzantine Empire had all kinds of problems to deal with. Just like any other, like any other superpower, geopolitical superpower, people are kind of poking and prodding from every angle, seeing if they can make any headway into their defenses. In addition to all the Crusaders and the Ottomans and anyone else that was looking to loot or raid around the periphery of the city of Constantinople, there was one enemy that served as a particular thorn in the side of Emperor Justinian I. Now, I pulled up this picture of just kind of a stylized picture of what Constantinople looked like back in these days.
It looks pretty
And you'll
sick.
notice, pretty cool river, lots of boats going on.
Yeah.
It looks like a pretty pleasant place to live.
Remind
Again,
me
this is
what
pretty
the
stylized, but
current name of Constantinople is.
Istanbul.
Istanbul. Great city.
Yes.
Loved it.
Right. So this is the Byzantine Empire, is also known as the Eastern Roman Empire. Kind of one and the same, but also differentiated for historical purposes. But you can think of it just as an extension of the Roman Empire.
Yeah.
Whatever you call it,
I've
the
been in
1000th year.
That big mosque up at the top.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What'd you do in it?
I just sat quietly. It was very peaceful. I really liked
Reverently?
it. Yeah.
That's good. So, Emperor Justinian I, he's beset by enemies on all sides, but one particular one he's having a little bit of trouble with. Starting sometime in the 6th century AD. What's that stand for, Jeff?
6?
Yeah. Right. Yes.
After-
the numeral 6 is what I was referring to.
After Christ's death.
More or less, yeah. Anno Domini. On the city streets, there began
Anno
to be
Domini?
whispers. Anno Domini?
That's
AD?
what AD stands for? It's after death, I thought.
No. That's a common misconception. I thought that for a long time too. But
What's the word you just said even mean?
Anno Domini is year of our Lord. So like 0 BC
Zero.
is kind of like 1 AD is Anno Domini, year of our Lord 1.
Otherwise,
kind of
there's
thing.
like 33 years.
33
that are like
years.
a limbo.
When did-
year. Yeah.
When did AD start?
Historically, it's the day we thought that Jesus was born, the year of our Lord.
Oh,
AD.
all right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Learn something new every day, don't you?
Yeah.
All right. I'm fixing to learn you some more stuff here. So shut up, Jeff.
You asked me that.
On the city streets of Constantinople, there began to be whispers, and then stories, and then abject public fear of something mysterious and terrifying lurking in the waters of the Bosphorus, a strait in the northeastern portion of the Mediterranean, which is a pretty big deal for these people because that's kind of a major way in and out of this city at this point in history. So for the next 5 decades, sailors had a decision to make. They could either stay on dry ground, safe, or risk their ship being attacked and sunk by Porphyrios, a giant beast the likes of which had never been seen in these waters, at least not quite so violently. So Procopius, he's a historian, 6th century Byzantine historian. He mentioned Porphyrios in 2 of his works, History of the Wars and The Secret History, in which he wrote that Porphyrios would attack all manner of sea vessels, from small fishing boats to large merchant vessels, and even the occasional warship. It was just not afraid of anything, whatever this thing was. I'm sure you guys are putting 2 and 2 together.
I know this story now. I remember it because
great. Maybe
it's one that came in
fill in some gaps.
It's one. Well, no, I'm not going to, but I was just gonna, as a hint, it's one that people started talking about it recently because of recent events. So
Yeah.
Wait, Wes, so tell us what ends up happening with it.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
So even though Porphyrios would disappear for a stretch here and there over the 50 years that he was active, sailors would still do really just whatever they could to avoid taking the waters they knew were inhabited by this beast. Whether, that means going the opposite way, extending to their trip time, just whatever they could in order to avoid this beast. What's your best guess, Jeff? What do you think we're talking about here?
Oh, man, that has to be a giant squid.
Well, maybe this next picture will help illuminate a little bit.
Or a sperm whale?
Yeah, it's a good, sperm whale. How did you know?
Because
specifically sperm.
Whales with teeth, I always think sperm whale.
There you go. Yeah. See, now you're teaching me stuff. Okay. So no one is 100% sure actually what species of whale Porphyrios was, but Procopius left us some clues. So based on his accounts, it was recorded to have a length of 13.7 meters, 45 feet. Jeff?
Yeah, that's 2 buses back to back.
Sure is. And a width of 4.6 meters, 15 feet. It's not really. Well, it depends. Buses come in different sizes.
Yeah,
but we'll just
sure,
move on.
you could figure that out somehow.
Yeah.
You could find 2 buses that do that.
Sure.
So most people, like Jeff, they seem to think he was probably a sperm whale because of his size and the lifespan. 50 years is kind of a long time for whatever else they were thinking. And also its temperament. But some other historians think it could have been, Wes?
an orca.
Yeah.
And that makes sense with
That's
how
kind of
orcas
what I
behave.
think it was. Yeah. I think it's more likely it was an orca.
Right. Because what are they doing? They're like ramming rotors on boats over on the
rudders. And the thing
Them boats.
exactly.
the thing about sperm whales is they're not an aggressive species. Like we do have the history of the whale ship Essex, which was sunk by a sperm whale, but that was a whale that they had antagonized. They'd thrown harpoons in and chased and everything. On the other hand, orcas, we have very recent history of them sinking ships. And that's, again, it's probably not aggression. It's probably more play than anything, but there is context for that. So for a sperm whale, it seems off to me. If I were betting on this, I would bet it being an orca.
Can I tell you
I'll take
why
that
I
bet.
think it was a sperm whale?
Yeah.
So if you look at the drawing Mike has up, that
that
looks
drawing
more
does
like
look
a
like-
sperm whale.
True.
So if they saw it and then drew that,
So
Yeah. But there are some explanations of it being black and white, right, Mike?
we'll get to the coloration actually. It's pretty interesting. But also if you're looking at this picture, Jeff, you see this whale 45 feet long, nose to tail. That would mean this boat's like 15 feet long. And that makes this a pretty small boat compared to the features that it's displaying, like 3 decks of cannons.
and those
It doesn't,
people would all be like little people.
yeah. They all be like
That are on
3
the
inches
boat.
tall. Yeah.
Yeah.
So take it or leave it, this picture, whether it's a accurate, verifiable account of what was actually happening in the waters here.
If you guys know much about me, you know that I'm really passionate about seafood, but it might not be in the way that you expect. I really care about sustainability. A long time ago, I learned about overfishing and how much of a problem it is for the world's ocean and food supply, and it really affected me. So I'm very careful about my seafood choices, and I would never recommend a seafood brand to you guys if I didn't think it was a really good one. And that's why I'm so excited to recommend Wild Alaskan Seafood. Wild Alaskan Company is really the best way to get wild-caught, perfectly portioned, nutrient-dense seafood delivered directly to your door. And trust me, it is really, really good fish. Because it's been so long since I've really eaten seafood regularly, I generally don't even really like it that much, but I've been eating Wild Alaskan and I absolutely love it. The other day we cooked some halibut, made a delicious pesto with it. It just was really, really tasty fish. The coho salmon I've really liked. Pretty much everything I've gotten from Wild Alaskan I've just really been a big fan of. And for me, the big selling point is their sustainability. It's 100% wild caught, never farmed. There's no antibiotics, GMOs, or additives. Just clean, real fish that supports healthy oceans and fishing communities. It's sustainably sourced, so every order supports sustainable harvesting practices, and your membership will deliver flexible shipments to you, expert tips, and truly feel-good seafood. And for me, that's so important. I just think we need to be responsible in our food choices, especially when you're eating wild animals, and fish are wild animals. So for me, again, I would not recommend a seafood company if I did not believe in them, and I do believe in Wild Alaskan Company. So not all fish are the same. Get seafood you can trust. Go to wildalaskan.com/tooth for $35 off your first box of premium wild-caught seafood. That's wildalaskan.com/tooth for $35 off your first order. Thanks to Wild Alaskan Company for sponsoring this episode.
Okay. Like Wes was talking about, some other historians think it could have been just a massive orca, and it really would have been if it was actually 45 feet. That's about as big as orcas have ever been measured to get, I think, is what I read. And also because it's not very rare to see orcas in this part of the water world.
Yeah.
Whereas sperm whales, they really have to navigate some pretty difficult straits and stuff
Water?
to get up to where, yeah. I'll show you a picture. You guys are going to be like, how would a whale even get there? You're going to be dumbfounded. But
The
Wes,
thing
what were you
too,
saying?
with that size thing, like even on the leopard seal episode that we just did, there's historical reports of leopard seals up to 30 feet long.
That's a huge
there's
one.
no way. Yeah, there's no way they were that big. So people, when they see a really
it's
big animal,
historical.
yeah, when people see a really big animal, they often exaggerate. That's a very common thing. If it's bigger than like 15
Especially
feet,
dudes.
it's really easy to say 30, 40 feet. you
Never,
know?
never trust a guy's measurements.
No.
Exactly.
No.
Actually, I had an interesting question I wanted to ask you. Maybe this would be the right place for it, Wes. But like, do you think that the average size of whales and orcas and stuff that lived in the water, would it have decreased in the
Not
modern day because
substantially.
of like, not substantially? Okay.
No, not enough to where it would be, if anything, maybe a couple feet or something.
Okay, cool.
But that, you know, I shouldn't say that with any like confidence, but I would be shocked if whales had substantially decreased. Something really quick. This is an interesting aside that you bring up that I just want to get into really quick. If humans put a lot of pressure on an animal, especially marine animals, to get smaller, they can do it really quickly. Like a way that we've done that is with salmon nets, because the smaller fish are able to get out of the net. And so
then
we're
reproduce.
selectively, you know, favoring those fish that are smaller. And then those are the ones that are left to reproduce. But we weren't really doing that with whales. Pretty much like any sperm whale that was sighted was killed. So I don't think there was a lot of pressure on them to get smaller, if that makes sense.
it does.
But I'm not sure.
No, that makes sense. So according to historians C.N. Lewis and Lloyd Llewellyn Jones, whales weren't super well understood at this time, as you can imagine. So you can just think about these people living by this water where they haven't really ever seen an animal behave like this before. It's pretty much a nightmare situation for them. It's like a story you tell your kids if they're misbehaving, like you're going to get eaten by that, whatever that thing is out there if you don't eat your
What was his
porridge or whatever. Porphyrios.
Porphyrios is going to get you.
Yeah.
Go to bed or Porphyrios will eat you.
Yeah, picture little Byzantine children being like, no, Porphyrios.
And also, like I was mentioning before, they weren't seeing a lot of these kinds of animals in these waters just because of like how difficult. And I pulled up this map just to illustrate. So you see the Aegean Sea in the bottom left, and that kind of feeds up off of the Mediterranean. So we're looking at a pretty small window. And to get to where Istanbul, that's current day Constantinople, you'll see they'll have to navigate through this strait here and then up through an even smaller one where Istanbul is located. So like not super common to see huge animals making that kind of a trip is what I've read at least. So
That's nothing.
You don't think?
Nah.
I think
All right, well.
more than anything, like aside from size, you wouldn't expect to see highly migratory animals going in there, because they're going to have to come in and out. But there's no, like a whale could go in there. Any whale could make it in. But a lot of whales, like sperm whales, can be really migratory. Whereas orcas sometimes will, resident orcas especially, will just hang out kind of in the same waters. So that's another point for me that makes me think it could be, that it's more likely it was an orca.
All right. We're getting close to settling that case.
Yeah.
Well, so whatever the
We
case
got our
is,
best minds on it.
whatever he, or I guess I should say he or she, whatever they were, Porphyrios is just going hog wild, just sinking all kinds of boats out there. You know, people were freaking out. But why the name Porphyrios, you're probably asking yourself. Maybe like deep in your brain, that's a question that's floating around. Maybe not the first question you wanted to ask, but this is interesting. So I set it up with a segue in which I kind of assumed you were asking a question.
Now I'm asking it for sure. Yeah.
It sounds like a
Job
sounds
done.
like a musketeer name to me.
It does, the fourth or
Yeah.
fifth, I guess. So why the name Porphyrios? One hypothesis suggests that it might come from the mythological giant Porphyrion, a fitting name for the whale's size and power. It tracks. But in the 1990s, a couple of other historians connected a few more dots and think that the name might have referred to the deep, wine-colored hue of the whale or the orca's skin, since Porphyrios is pretty close to what their word was for purple. And I got a picture to show you here. Purple boy. And I'll make that make sense real quick. The theory has since gained support from other historians of note, such as John Papadoulos and Deborah Rosillo, and another guy named Daniel Ogden. Sorry, I don't know who you guys are. I'm sure you guys are beautiful, intelligent souls. But they believed
Much smarter than
Porphyrios
us.
simply means purple or purple boy. Specifically, they thought maybe it meant purple boy.
That's what we'll
Which
call
I
you
think
when
is
you
great.
finally dye your hair purple.
Oh, dude, it's
We'll
got
call you
Porphyrios. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so back to the story. Porphyrios' harassment of ships became such a problem that Emperor Justinian I was forced to address the issue. But no matter what they came up with, nothing was working. They couldn't capture it, let alone kill it. They just threw their hands up and they're like, well, how long could this animal really live, honestly? And they got their answer, 50 plus years.
Yeah.
It sucked for them for that whole time. As the authorities ran out of ideas, they couldn't do anything. There was no recourse. But the situation ended up resolving itself in kind of a sad and sort of gross ending when one day Porphyrios, and this is actually another point towards maybe it being an orca, but Porphyrios was chasing a group of dolphins, which is more orca behavior rather than sperm whale, I would
Definitely.
guess.
100%. I'm convinced now.
It beached itself at the mouth of the Black Sea. It started wriggling and writhing to free itself, but only succeeded in making things worse, sinking deep into thick mud on the coast. Word quickly spread that the legendary whale was stuck, and knowing that there was an imperial decree to kill the beast, a mob ran out with axes and whatever else they had on hand to take care of business. They hauled Porphyrios farther out of the water with ropes and wagons, and then got to work. And for a long time, actually, they were just sitting there hacking it, and it was like barely even breaking through the skin. It was just like such a gargantuan orca, I guess we'll call it now.
Well, because again,
sure.
here you have it depicted as a sperm whale. So
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sure this was drawn many hundreds of years after the fact.
probably.
But eventually they did get through the tough skin. They divided up the chunks of meat and they either ate it right there on the spot, which is kind of weird and gross, but
Yeah.
like in a celebratory kind of revelry, they just started eating
Yeah.
the beast right there, or they stored it for later. I guess there was a method that they had to store that kind of meat for
Kind
later.
of funny that this particular artist was like, I'm gonna have his dong out, and it's gonna be way out.
And someone's going to be
Guys.
climbing it.
Yeah,
Using it as a stepping stool. Poor guy though. Look at Porphyrios.
yeah.
Man.
Not a great end for our guy. I will say, like, the other possibility here is that this was a sperm whale that like had some kind of mental illness or something going on that completely changed its behavior, and that is possible. But they don't chase dolphins, for what I know. They are a toothed whale, but they're mostly diving down deep to eat squid and other things. They're not chasing like marine mammals on the surface. So it really feels like an orca to me.
Well, just wait for
Another-
this one last twist. Go ahead, Jeff.
Possibility. So, like, orcas and sperm whales both breathe oxygen. They're not fish.
Correct.
So maybe these people just were trying to keep it from drowning, pulled it out of there.
Doing some CPR in the blowhole or something. You'd need someone with like a huge mouth to give
Like
a blowhole CPR.
Maybe this is how humans started. It's these whales getting on land.
This
Oh,
whale
you think?
in Constantinople.
We could have had the next stage of evolution.
Yeah, if they hadn't killed it.
Right. Well, Procopius wrote, the historian, that the whale's death, orca's death, whatever it was, death was a huge relief to the people of the city. Finally, boats could come and go as they please without fear of their precious ship and cargo being sunk. Or could they?
Ooh.
After it was slaughtered on the beach, there were some rumors that it had not been Porphyrios at all, but some other whale that had gotten itself beached and killed. So maybe
So
we
could
got
have
like a
been
Hugh
sperm
Glass
whale.
kind of
Yeah.
situation going on here.
Yeah, maybe it could have been even that's the confusion. Like maybe they saw a sperm whale out more in the ocean, but it was like some orca smart enough to frame the sperm whale.
That's true.
Oh, you think Porphyrios maybe like nudged it up onto the beach to take the fall like a patsy?
Or he would just wait to like strike the boats until the sperm whale was up out of the water. And
Yeah.
they would be like, oh, that's what just got us.
Like that time when you farted in class and blamed it on that other guy?
Yeah.
That didn't work very
It
well.
was
Porphyrios.
Too loud of a fart.
A little better. Yeah. Okay, well thus ends the story of Porphyrios. I thought that was really interesting. I love just
Super
hearing
interesting.
strange little anecdotes of like that from antiquity because you don't get stories like that all that often.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting
it's
to
cool.
think orcas have been sinking boats for a long time now.
Yeah. Something that I find like kind of weirdly heartwarming about this is that what year was this in again, Mike?
6th century.
6th century?
6th century AD.
Yeah. So like that many years ago, they were sinking boats and people felt powerless. And now in like 2024, they're sinking boats and people feel powerless. Like there's very little we can do to stop these animals when they start doing that. I guess today they probably could have killed the orcas that were doing it, but
Feel
they weren't
more
allowed to.
helpless because of like laws nowadays.
Right. That's true.
Like if
but
we could
I
have
think it
machine
would have been
guns on our yachts, they would
fair
probably-
enough. They probably could have killed those orcas. That's a good point. But I do
It's
love
a good
that-
point though. I hear what you're saying. and I
Yeah,
like it.
that they do hold some power over us. Yeah, I
Like,
don't know. I'm
we
pretty
still have fear of them sinking our boats even today.
yeah.
That is
I'm pretty
cool.
convinced it's an orca. I really am.
Feels right to me after hearing what you said and reading over all this stuff.
Hey Wes,
I want
Yeah.
that to be the case.
if you were an orca, what would your strategy be to take down a destroyer, like a U.S. destroyer?
Oh, man. I'd wait until they're about to launch a torpedo and then swim up the torpedo tube and block
That's
it.
pretty good.
It'd
Yeah.
be like a suicide attack, but it would blow them up too.
That's probably the best way, right?
Or just like
just
chuck
the
a
rudder.
dolphin in there. Yeah.
Just keep hitting the rudder.
yeah. Just hit that rudder. Sure.
I think those rudders would. I don't know. I'm not an authority on destroyers or aircraft carriers. It seems like they wouldn't be able to do that, but
Mike,
What
and
do I
one
know?
thing you kept saying like a whale or an orca, you can call them
Yes.
whales. Yeah.
right.
I just wanted to clarify that for our audience because we kind of confused that once.
It's
Whale is
kinda
big,
confusing
is big
still.
circle. Yeah.
Can't
So
you
for
like
these
say
guys,
dolphins are whales?
dolphins are whales. So anything that falls
See,
within
that's weird.
the cetacean family can be considered whales. So dolphins are whales, orcas are whales, pilot whales, and then you have your big baleen whales too. So you have like, humpbacks, gray whales, right whales, those kind of whales. They're all whales. But then dolphins is a subgroup of whales. So orcas are dolphins are dolphins. They're all still within that larger group, which is whales.
Humans?
Did you call that parking ticket I got on my windshield a cetacean?
No.
It was a whale of a fine. I'll tell you that much. Shit, that's not a good joke.
Jeff, you were about to say humans, and there is a good like primates and humans, like apes are a smaller
that's like
subset
the dolphins
of primates.
humans.
Yes, apes would be the dolphins of humans. Well, of primates. Humans would
Okay.
be the dolphins of primates or apes. Sure.
Clear.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or like I was gonna say, if
give
we're
up. I
snorkeling, we're pretty much whales.
Some of us.
We got like our blowholes. We got
Yeah, we do, don't we?
I don't have a great argument.
Our
for
blubber.
that.
we're mammals.
Next story. You guys ready to move on? Or any
Yeah.
final words in reverence for Porphyrios?
Porphyrios, good. Yeah, good story. I
Good
like
run.
it.
Good run.
All right. This episode is brought to you by Mint Mobile. You know what doesn't belong in your epic summer plans? Getting burned by your old wireless bill. While you're planning beach trips, barbecues, and 3-day weekends, your wireless bill should be the last thing holding you back. With Mint, you can get the coverage and speed you're used to, but for way less money. And for a limited time, Mint Mobile is offering 3 months of unlimited premium wireless service for $15 a month. $15 a month. That's nothing. It's like my daily chocolate budget. So say goodbye to your overpriced wireless plans, jaw-dropping monthly bills, and unexpected overages. Mint Mobile is here to rescue you. All plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text delivered on the nation's largest 5G network. Ditch all that overpriced wireless nonsense you're probably all tangled up in right now and get 3 months of unlimited service from Mint Mobile for $15 a month. And listen, I did this. This is something I truly believe in. I used this for years. I recently switched to someone else, and I'm actually kind of regretting it, so I'm probably going to hop back on Mint pretty soon. This year, skip breaking a sweat and breaking the bank. Get this new customer offer and your 3-month unlimited wireless plan for just $15 a month at mintmobile.com/tooth. That's mintmobile.com/tooth. Upfront payment of $45 required, equivalent to $15 a month. Limited time new customer offer for first 3 months only. Speeds may slow above 35 gigabytes on unlimited plan. Taxes and fees extra. See Mint Mobile for details. Okay, next story. You guys have heard of the band The Tragically Hip, right? Canadian
Yes.
superstars.
No.
Well, this story is called The Tragically Bald. Look at this guy. I just got a picture. His name is Aeschylus. You guys may be familiar with him. Classical Greek playwright. Really made his
Super bald.
bones writing tragedies. He really kind of elevated the art form of the tragedy in the poetry and theater world. One of the 3 greats, along with Euripides, and I forget the other one. Sorry, I'm not a Greek. I'm not a classical lit, whatever, nerd.
Bald people are like the last group of people you can still make fun of without too much pushback.
I know, it's not fair. They didn't choose anything, you know?
Yeah, it sucks to go bald.
Some of them do choose, but
You can just go to Istanbul and get some,
That's true.
get
You
some
know
new
who's
hair.
crazy.
just watch
is
out for orcas.
Doc Rivers, because he has a hairline but is bald. Or
It's the
Chris
most
Paul,
amazing
where
thing.
he was like bald, but he has like a bald
Yeah.
spot.
Under the lighting of the
Anyways.
NBA arena, his head, you can see hair on it, but there's also a glint, like it's shining off his
It's like
dome,
shinier
you know?
than a bald head.
It's really cool. Good job, Doc. Okay, Aeschylus. Athens' great dramatist, made his bones writing tragedies. Jeff, you'd like this guy. He was all about writing. I don't know if you're familiar with like Agamemnon, Clytemnestra, like a lot of revenge, a lot of payback, a lot of like,
Nice.
getting even, you know.
Yeah.
So he wrote about 80 plays, we know, and only 7 still exist. And thankfully, one of them is the complete trilogy, the Orestes. That's Agamemnon on through the 3, which is great because it'd really suck if we had like the first 2 parts, but then we didn't get that finishing trilogy part. It's like not having Return of the King.
Yeah. You
That'd
need
be
that third
tragic.
piece.
Talk about tragedy, you know. So, with all the cockamamie, he's got this. His whole shtick is writing these crazy, weird ways people are dying or being killed. So it almost seems fitting that he himself would die in a fairly tragic way. So this is kind of a tough picture to make out exactly what's going on. But in 455 BC, he was outside, probably just minding his own business. And the story goes that an eagle carrying a turtle spotted his bald head somewhere far below. Probably like a glint of sunlight bounced off his shiny head. And the eagle's like, oh, there's something I can break the shell of this turtle on. Because that's the thing eagles do, right? They like drop
Some of them
turtles
do.
and tortoises on rocks.
Uh-huh.
So he mistook Aeschylus's head for a rock and dropped a turtle right on top of him, and it killed him. And this picture's great because you can see like in the air, there's one turtle falling, but also you can see there's already a turtle hitting his head. So this
Yeah.
eagle's dropping 2 turtles on this guy. That's amazing.
And he just
but anyway,
looks sad, like unbothered, but still going to keep reading. Yeah.
right. It's like the pictures you see of people like a water balloon has hit their face, but they haven't quite physically registered it yet. So their face is still completely
Like a slow-mo right before. Yeah.
right. Anyway, so that thus ends the tragic life of Aeschylus.
Do you give
I
that,
just thought that was
like
great.
credit to the eagle or the turtle?
Yeah. Who gets that kill?
Like, is that death by turtle or by eagle?
I'd say eagle.
Yeah,
I'd
me
give
too.
that to the eagle.
Like guns
Even a
don't
little
kill
bit.
people, Jeff.
Like, here's the thing. I think a few eagles have killed people in history. This might be like our only turtle we can take for like killing
I should have saved
someone.
this story. Yeah, we could have built a whole episode out of this.
Yeah, I'm with Mike on that. I think the guns don't kill people is a perfect analogy for this.
Well, in that
But-
case, it'd be a bullet is the turtle, though.
So what's the gun? His feet?
Well, I don't know. Bullets kill people.
But like the argument isn't like
You don't think bullets kill people?
yeah, but who pulls the
the-
trigger? The
Who's
person.
pulling the trigger, dog?
The eagle's the gun, but the turtle's the bullet.
No, the eagle's the person. and the
Who's
turtle
using
is
the eagle?
weapon.
Because someone
Yeah.
needs to be using the eagle. Maybe
God.
God,
Sometimes
I don't know.
guns just
Yeah.
go off.
That's
All
true.
right, then in that
It's an Ellis
case,
charge.
guns do kill people. But outside
Okay.
of that,
All right, we've lingered on Aeschylus enough. Let's go
Jeff's
to our
our
next one.
gun
This,
guy, so we can't
that's
make
true.
fun of
We
guns.
can't disagree.
Yeah.
So this is Saint Conleth of Kildare, Ireland. We're going to Ireland. Conleth was the head of the Kildare School of Metalwork and Penmanship and one of the 3 chief artisans of Ireland. Upon meeting him, renowned Irish abbess Brigid invited him to become the governor bishop of her double monastery at Kildare. She was just so impressed with his art. She was like, you got to be a person of influence and of note and help me out here. And he agreed. After about 20 years of serving as the bishop, Conleth set out on a pilgrimage to Rome to buy new vestments and an altar plate to replace the ones that Brigid had just sold for money to help the poor and the needy, which is a worthy, that's a great thing you did, Brigid. But Conleth is like, we also still need this ritual stuff that we use at the church. So I'm going to go get some from Rome. But he was old at this point. He was a little old. And Brigid was like, you're not going to make it, dude. You should stay here and let someone else take care of it. But he was like, no, I got this. And then she received a premonition from God. It just so happens. Quote, you shall not arrive at Rome and you shall not return.
Oh,
That premonition
God
may
said
very
that.
well have been real. That God said that through Brigid is
Brigid.
how the story goes.
okay.
Bridget. I
That's
saw both
serious.
spellings, Brigid and
we're
Bridget.
back to the weapon
Yeah.
/ user of
Yeah.
the weapon, though.
Right. So somewhere along the journey from Ireland to Rome, Conleth was attacked and killed by wolves, which at the time lived in the woods in the mountains of Leinster. His remains were transferred to a Church of Ireland cathedral in Kildare in 835 AD in order to protect from the invading Vikings of Denmark. They thought, bringing in some saintly bones, some remains would grant an aura of protection, of
How'd that
deific
work
protection.
for that?
It didn't. It worked. It worked quite poorly. The Vikings, they really got up to all kinds of nonsense, and
They didn't show up and they were like, oh, wait, are those
Yeah.
bones?
Yeah,
We're out of here.
yeah. So many attacks from Vikings later. Ireland kind of got run roughshod over for a while there. Just like no shame. And I want to personally apologize. All of my ancestors are Danes, so
Yeah.
that's my bad, I guess.
We had Norwegian ancestors, so we're in on that too.
Right. But even those bones weren't very effective. All kinds of people were killed. I think the monastery itself where he was buried was like stormed and pillaged by the Vikings. So these bones were really ineffective.
Yeah.
But he was still made the patron saint of the Roman Catholic Saint Conleth parish and is still celebrated on the 4th of May with a feast every year. So you tried. It's kind of like, thanks for giving it your best. But and honestly, if anyone from Ireland is listening by any chance, I'd love to hear more if this is actually a day that's celebrated and upheld to this day. Kind of if I got anything wrong, even.
Has Star Wars Day choked it out at this point?
That's so true, dude.
May the 4th.
Oh my
I
God.
feel like Ireland's rebounding a bit, though. Just in general. Maybe
love
just
Ireland.
the bones took a long time to work.
Yeah.
That's true.
Those bones are finally
Yeah.
coming to fruition.
Yeah, good work. Good work, Conleth. You're a great artist. No,
I
you
love
can't
this picture.
say whatever you want about him. He's good at art. I know. He's very.
He looks like he's very nonplussed. Like you just told a joke that he thinks is stupid. I like it.
He's so powerful.
Yeah. He looks like Sauron.
Okay. So next story, let's go on to, this is Chrysippus of Solace and a fig-loving donkey. You can kind of see once I lay out the title of this story, what's going on in this picture. So a Greek philosopher from the 3rd century BC named Chrysippus of Solae once spotted a donkey eating his figs. Seeing the perfect setup for a joke, he quipped to anyone nearby enough to hear him that someone ought to give that donkey some wine. He joked that someone should give that donkey some unmixed wine, Wes.
I'm with you.
So this is fitting, actually. So
Just, let the donkey keep eating his figs so he could get that joke off to as many
Yeah.
people as possible.
So
The expression on
man.
his face is so good too.
this story is about to repeat itself, but a Reddit user actually helped me put together this joke. So credit goes to user Iphicrates. I think that's how you would say that.
Like
So
you
apparently-
talked to the Reddit user?
No, I just saw a post
Okay.
from years ago, whatever. So figs and donkeys are symbols of Dionysus, the god of wine, fertility, and theater. So basically what happened is Chrysippus saw two things that reminded him of Dionysus and couldn't pass up on the opportunity to finish the scene by invoking Dionysus himself by giving the donkey some pure wine to wash it down. It's starting to get funny now, right? Well, whatever you guys think, he thought his own joke was so funny that for, quote, for that seeing his ass eating his figs, he told his old woman to give the ass some unmixed wine to drink afterwards, and then laughed so violently that he died. See, it was funny after all, right?
That is. He laughed so hard they gave the donkey wine that he died.
Okay, we're going to get through this. We'll make it together. Please don't turn it off. We're finishing this, I swear.
So stupid.
So you're counting that one for the donkey killing him.
I'd give it to the figs, I think. Okay, next story. We got to move on. This is, holy cow. Okay, this is about Milo of Croton, also killed by wolves, much like Conleth 2 stories ago. So this guy, he was a 6-time Olympic wrestling victor and he just loved strutting his stuff. He loved showing off how sick he was. Diodorus Siculus wrote in his history that Milo commanded the Crotonian army, which defeated the Sybarites in 511 BC, while wearing his Olympic wreaths and dressed like Heracles in a lion skin and carrying a club, which is pretty sick. You go to war like in lion's clothes just with a club, and then he wins. That's rad. But if there was anything Milo loved, it was showing off how strong he was. And a few of his go-to moves were these. He would hold out his arm with fingers outstretched and challenge people to bend his little finger, which is like pretty impressive if he's actually strong
if
enough
you
to
can
like
stop
not.
someone from doing that. That's
It's amazing.
pretty amazing.
Okay. The next one, you guys will be impressed by this. He would stand on a greased iron disc and challenge people to push him off of it.
All right.
Yeah.
That's
Also
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
This next one, this one's cool too. He would hold a pomegranate in one hand and challenge others to take it from him. Nobody ever could, and despite him holding the fruit very tightly, it was never damaged. So he'd create like
Perfect
a loose
control.
cage with
Yeah.
his hand around the pomegranate.
Wow.
I don't know.
I
It's
mean,
pretty impressive, right?
pomegranates, I feel like, are kind of hard to damage, though, right? If you're just squeezing them.
Yeah, I think if you're like squeezing, I don't know. That's just
It's
what
a good tidbit.
Yeah.
It
Right.
makes sense to me.
Oh, I gotta, let's see if pull up this next one maybe. Oh, shoot. That's a little too early, but we knew where this was going. So he would train in his off years by carrying a newborn calf on his back every day until the Olympics took place.
Oh,
By the time the events were to take place, he was carrying a 4-year-old cow on his back. He carried the full-grown cow the length of the stadium, then proceeded to kill, roast, and eat it. And that's good intimidation, you know?
yeah.
Can you imagine, Wes, you wrestled in high school. What if you saw some dude just bring a cow in and then like eat it right in front of you?
I wouldn't want to wrestle him for sure.
Exactly.
I would be intimidated.
Especially because Wes wrestled at like 95 pounds.
Yes.
So Milo's final test of strength came when he was traveling to the countryside and met a villager trying to split a stump with a hammer and wedges. Milo excitedly asked the man if he could attempt to split the wood with his strength, not using any tools at all. So he'd like put both of his hands in the stump where the split already was
Ooh,
and try
like
to rip it
Captain
in half.
America.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The villager, honored by Milo's offer, he knew who Milo was, of course. He went off to fetch food while Milo worked on the stump. Milo immediately tried to pull the stump apart by inserting his fingers into the crack where the villager had driven the wedges. As he pulled the stump open, the wedges fell out, and the stump quickly snapped in on his fingers, trapping him on the spot. There he waited for the villager to return with the food and to help him out. Legend then says that Milo met his end when wolves, or maybe a lion, took advantage of his predicament and descended upon him. This event turned into a favorite subject in art for Italian Renaissance sculpture, and if you look this up on Google Images or wherever, you'll see a lot of images of like, it really looks like lions are just eating his butt. There are like many different depictions of the same event, and they all kind of look weirdly
like
sexual.
eating his butt or eating his ass.
You know what I meant.
Okay. All right.
But I like this one. I like the wolves because it isn't quite as, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like the wolf version for more than the lion for some reason.
Yeah.
But there you go. He's a tough guy. Look,
Yeah.
that stump caught him.
That'd be kind
Wasn't
of
strong
embarrassing to
enough
be
for the
that
stump.
tough. Yeah, and then get killed by a stump.
Yeah. Well, again, what really killed him?
What
Was it
killed
the
him
wolves?
here? Who do we give the
stump?
credit to? I think the wolves.
The wedges.
It seems
that
like
to
if
say?
he had his hands,
pride.
those wolves were toast.
True.
It may not always seem like it, but I can get pretty high strung, and nothing feels better to me than just being able to chill out a little bit, but in a completely natural way. And that's why I love Cornbread Hemp's CBD gummies. Also, I've been flying a lot recently. I've been getting aches and pains with my body, and I love having CBD gummies to help relieve some of that. None of us are as young as we used to be, unless you're in like a Benjamin Button situation, but I can assume pretty safely that you're not. Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are a huge piece of my wellness plan. They're made to help you feel better, whether it's stress, discomfort, or just needing a little relaxation. Cornbread Hemp CBD gummies are formulated to help relieve discomfort, stress, and sleeplessness. All products are third-party lab tested and USDA organic to ensure safety and purity. Right now, Tooth and Claw listeners can save 30% on their first order. Just head to cornbreadhemp.com/tooth and use code TOOTH at checkout. That's cornbreadhemp.com/tooth and use code TOOTH.
Next, this is the final story. We're going all the way back to 1000 BC. This is like a million years ago, Jeff. This is King Parikshit. So King Parikshit toiled alongside his son to consolidate and unify the Kuru states around what is modern-day Delhi, India. For those who, you guys probably all put that together. It is said that his Kuru kingdom flowed with milk and honey, and that everyone lived happily, and he became known as the Raja Vishvajanina. I think I'm saying that right. Vishvajanina. That's how it's spelled. The universal king is what that means. One day, King Parikshit set out on a bear hunt, and he spotted one, but before he could take it down, the beast took off at a run. The king chased the animal, but in vain. In due course, he got lost in the forest and became very weary and very thirsty. He then came to the hermitage of sage Samika, who was meditating. The king pleaded the sage to quench his thirst, give him something to drink. However, the sage, deep in meditation, he didn't move. He didn't even acknowledge that the king was there. He was just sitting there. And the king was like, I'm the king. What's going on here? You should respect me kind of thing, you know?
Yeah.
So he played a little prank on this sage. He picked up a dead snake that lay nearby and placed it around the sage's neck and left the place. Sage Shringan, the son of the sage Samika, came home to the hermitage and was shocked to see the desecration and placed a curse upon the man who had so disrespected his father. Quote, that sinful wretch of a monarch who hath placed a dead snake on the shoulders of my lean and old parent, the insulter of the Brahmanas and tarnisher of the fame of the Kurus, shall be taken within 7 nights hence to the regions of Yama, death, by the snake of Takshaka, the powerful king of serpents, stimulated thereto by the strength of my words. It's pretty serious. 1 week from now, the Takshaka, the demon king snake being, he's gonna get you, king.
Yeah,
Is
that's
basically what he's
crazy.
saying.
He has the authority to do that curse.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone personally. That would be cool.
That could pull that
He
off.
was in your inner circle.
Yeah.
So when Shamika, he's the sage who had the snake placed around him, when he learned about the curse that his son had given, he was disappointed. He was like, I get why you would be mad, but let's forgive and forget. Shamika ordered his disciple Garmuka to go to Parikshit and tell him everything about his incoming death. When Parikshit heard about the curse, he actually was just accepting of his fate. He's like, you know what? I deserve that. I shouldn't. I was kind of being a snot there. I should die.
Wow.
But the
humility.
ministers, they had different ideas. They created a mansion that would stand on a solitary column and remain well guarded. But
That was so kind of like a Rapunzel situation, or I guess Sleeping Beauty, get rid of all the potential dangers.
right, like Oedipus, run away from home. I don't want to have sex with my mom is what he was probably saying. So he ran away, ended up doing it. Oh, talk about tragedy. Those Greeks had a lot of ideas. Okay, but the curse of a stage never fails. The great snake Takshaka, disguised as a worm in a basket full of fruits, laid in wait for the opportune moment. The king reached forth his hand for some of that sweet, sweet fruit and got bit and died exactly 7 days later. The curse came true.
Oh man.
It's like the ring.
Right. It's too bad because like it seemed otherwise he's a pretty good dude. He made a pretty sweet kingdom for everyone to live in. But
Yeah.
you know,
It's not even like that bad of
He's
a
just
prank.
he's just playing a little prank. It was a dead
Right.
snake. It wasn't even a live one.
right.
Yeah. These sages need to lighten up.
It reminds me that time when I pranked the guys in college. Like they pranked me, and then I just went like so much harder at them. That's kind of what this.
Yeah.
There's like they wrote my phone number on like 100 cars.
That sucked.
So I
though.
got like a ton of
That's
like
a bad one.
texts and calls, and like people being like, "You want to go on a date?" People being like, "Why is your car? Why is your number on my car? Are you selling this car?" So then I went to a butcher and I bought a pig's head, and I stabbed a note in with a knife that was like threatening.
Which is a Larson tradition.
And
Cyrus did that first, then me, then you.
And then my friends who like did the prank to me, football players, got in a huge fight with them that night. And they were like already on edge. And then I put this pig head in their apartment, and I threw the smoke grenade in there. Like I threw a huge smoke grenade. And the next day I like went over there, and they had called the cops, and they all had like guns and stuff. And I was like, whoa.
All right. Let's call it off.
I'm just going to go silent for like a week here. Like
It's a great way to
kids
end
got
a
pulled
prank
out of
war.
like football.
If you need a pig's head, any Latin meat market near you will probably have one. So it works really well.
You were like you were Kendrick in that beef, and those roommates were the Drakes.
Yeah, I was like, I'm putting an
Not
end to
ready.
this.
Yeah. Okay, well, that ends. I think that was 6 stories of animal attacks in antiquity. Hopefully that was illuminating
really like
or
it.
fun or
Yeah.
both. But
That was great. I liked the guy who laughed so hard he died.
Me too.
The most.
it's so stupid. It was a good joke, though. You can't blame it.
so good.
It's crazy that like it was a joke that you yourself told. I feel like
Right.
that's
But then when he saw it carried out, he was like, oh, it was funnier than I ever could have imagined. It's so good.
okay. Let's move on to
It
categories.
seems like his wife didn't really get it.
yeah.
Because she just watched him laugh himself
Well,
to death, right?
because she lived. So
Right.
obviously she didn't get it. She would have died. if
That's
she had
what I'm
understood.
saying. She like didn't get how funny it was.
Okay, let's go to categories. What's your favorite tragic movie? Wes, I'm calling on you.
Yeah, I was thinking about this one. My knee jerk was to go with Atonement, which I brought up not too long ago on the podcast, but I just think it's like a really beautifully made movie, and it's one where just like the tiniest little mistakes end up in huge tragedy for the people. And it's one of those movies where you want to like shake someone in the movie and be like, no, don't do this. I also like a runner up for me was American History X. I honestly haven't seen it in so long. I don't know how well it would hold up today, but that was one where any movie about brothers always hits me a little harder since we're all brothers in the family. And then I always thought it was poignant because it was like the main character is trying to make up for his terrible choices and his like racist life, and he's trying to do better. But so much momentum has already gone into his little brother that it's too late to kind of stop those chickens from coming home to roost. And I don't know. That one always kind of hit hard for me, but that was my
It's
backup.
crazy when he reverse dunk backwards in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
One of the most athletic things you'll ever see. And that happens in that movie of all movies. Wild.
I'd probably go Manchester by the Sea.
That's a
That
great
one's
pick.
just like,
Ugh.
they kind of just wrote a movie to be as sad as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And then like Casey Affleck just has really good sad eyes. And
He's
does.
perfect in that movie.
yeah. Runner up would be Legends of the Fall because of brothers.
Yeah.
In
It's
Montana.
a good one.
I haven't really ever fully stopped thinking about Grave of the Fireflies ever since I saw it for the first time. Studio Ghibli, World War II, Fallout kind of just devastating. Another tale of siblings and just an unadulterated view of the horrors of war and the effects that it has long after it's quote unquote ended. And then I'll give a backup too. Why not? Just because you guys did. But another movie that's like that for me is Requiem for a Dream. It's a tough one. Just so sad. And anyone that's had someone that deals with addiction in their life, kind of, you probably know what that feels like. It sucks.
My number one tragic movie that like shouldn't feel as tragic as it does is The Sixth Man. The brothers play basketball and then one of them dies, but then his ghost helps his brother play basketball. That one I was a wreck in.
Requiem for a Dream is also tragic because Jared Leto's in it. Let's not forget that.
He was good in it though. What happened
was.
to him?
I know.
Well, maybe he was already whatever.
Yeah, I liked young Leto.
Man.
But,
They should make a movie out of
bad
Aeschylus
guy.
just getting dome shotted by a tortoise. That would be, I guess that's more of a comedy, also in the Greek tradition.
Most of these things were pretty funny.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, maybe we could make an anthology. Okay, next category. What would you say is one thing that you're cursed with? Do you have like a specific thing you feel like is particularly just a bee in your bonnet? Achilles heel of sorts?
I'm like really bad about losing stuff. Probably would be my number one. Like the second I set something down, it's out of sight, out of mind situation.
That's a good one too, because there's all kinds of stories about little house elves that run around like misplacing your stuff. Maybe it really is just like an actual curse.
Oh,
You got
yeah.
little gnomes.
I've been told I
Stealing
have
glasses.
ghosts where I live, so it could be ghosts.
That's right.
and you've pissed them off too. You flipped off
I
those
flipped
ghosts.
them off. I was asking
Yeah,
for it.
Several times.
I picked something that I kind of feel stupid about picking now because it kind of sounds like a good attribute. I guess I didn't really like think about this very well,
looks.
but no.
Sultry baritone voice.
A good memory. I feel like I have
That is a curse. It
a
can
good
be.
memory. I do have some blind spots. Like, don't get me wrong. There's definitely things that I don't remember well, but there's certain things that I just remember crystal clear. And it really bothers Jesse actually, because sometimes I'll remember things so well that it feels like I'm weaponizing it, you know? And I probably do that sometimes, to be honest. And so I feel like that's a hard thing when you know you remember something clearly, but it's impossible to like tell the other person, I remember this better than you, you know? Anyway, that's something that I'm not saying I feel that way about everything. I definitely have some blind spots where I don't think I have a good memory.
That sounds like the kind of curse that'll get better as you get older. You'll start forgetting stuff.
And it's a
That'll
curse
be
and a
great.
blessing. It's one of those things that I also am really happy I have, but
Cursed with a huge penis is what
I don't have that either.
Jeez. It's tough, dude. So my curse is, I feel like whenever I'm trying to be extra careful to not let something happen, that care that I'm going to such great lengths to take is what ends up actually causing me to do the thing that I was trying to avoid in the first place. Like, just talk about sunglasses. I try never to touch the lenses or like put them in any kind of place where they could get dinged up. So like handle them very carefully, and then they'll just slip out of my fingers and hit the gravel on the ground. And it's like, well, I might as well have just grabbed them and handled them like a normal person. I don't know. This is going to sound stupid, but this is something that happens to me almost daily where like I try to handle my phone very carefully and I'll just fling it across the room somehow. And it's so stupid. It always happens. It's a curse.
Can I tell you what I think your curse is, Mike?
Yes, please.
It's that like you're a very likable person that people want to be around. And that's like your worst case
And you hate
scenario
being
for
around
what you
people.
want in life.
That's true. That's a good
man.
pull. Yeah.
I'm changing my answer to that. Well, I guess I shouldn't because that's a little self-aggrandizing, but
No,
Yeah,
it
I
is.
try
would choose
hard.
the self-aggrandizing one for this.
yeah.
That's not what I was trying to do.
Wes,
and I feel
Wes missed-
stupid. I know.
Big penis Larson over here.
I didn't say the big penis
That
thing.
whale. You want to see that picture? That's like, dude, that's what you've
Yeah,
got.
That's
hopefully
nothing
when I'm
compared
dead,
to
someone-
Wes.
Does a little
Okay.
drawing of a tiny man crawling up my penis.
Okay, next, this is about Conleth. We all like Conleth, I feel like, after that little story we told of him. So, if there was a yearly feast held in celebration of your life, what would be served and what date would you want it to be on? I mean, I'll go first since you guys It's my prerogative, you know. I'll
I'll go last.
set the stage. This is going to be a bad one, but I love fruit, so I just want a giant buffet of every kind of fruit available, and I want it to happen on the day after Halloween. Just one last fruit hurrah of the year, because I feel like fruit isn't really incorporated into much afterwards, you know? Like Thanksgiving's not really a fruit kind of a thing, or Christmas.
No.
Cranberries,
Yeah.
I guess, but
Yeah, I'll have one huge table of cakes and then one huge table of ice creams.
you can
And,
only take
like,
one.
No, it starts out as like 2 desserts, but then you grab one from each table and make your own
Becomes
single
one
dessert.
Yeah, it's great.
All right.
I love it.
Wait,
When
do you
when
want
are
it
you
to happen?
doing it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Christmas.
Great. Yeah. Just double up.
Mike,
Good
I picked a buffet of fruits as well, just because I
Really?
think, yeah, I just think
Hey.
there's something so nice about just having a ton of different types of fruit to choose from, and you can kind of you can be a glutton and not feel bad about it, you know?
Yeah.
And the day I picked was summer solstice because I think it's my favorite day of the year. I think it's just a time of like general peace for me. I really like that's like the longest days. You have most of the summer still ahead of you. Things are really green and beautiful. The days are warm. I just like the summer solstice. So
Do you think you
That's-
can
that's
have dinner that's just obviously you can, but like do you think it counts as like a dinner if it's just fruit?
I mean I wouldn't probably count it.
Yeah,
But I
like a
think there's
breakfast.
people out there
Sometimes
that
I'll
would.
do like a,
Yeah.
but I get point taken.
yeah.
I'm not.
You
I'm
didn't say
not
dinner
saying-
though, right? Or
I'm-
did you?
No,
I just said feast.
like
Yeah.
a feast.
But-
I'm not even
yeah.
trying to say you guys are wrong in your answer. I just feel like I don't know. Are we having like cream with the fruit? Is it just
There should
fruit?
be a bowl of cream. I want some cream on mine.
Okay.
You can be different, Wes. You can
I
have.
think I just want the fruit. Yeah.
And then fruit, are we like
And some
we're
juice
counting
maybe.
like all the stuff that isn't actually fruit, but we think of as fruit, right?
Like
it's
what?
like
just
tomatoes,
I don't
or
want
like
tomatoes.
berries.
avocado.
Is
Berries
berries,
are
fruit?
fruit. Yeah.
Maybe I'm
That's
thinking of vegetables.
I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
berries are fruit.
I'm not sure. I will say this though:
In the,
kiwis,
colloquial
kiwis are
way, they
keeping skin. You're not taking that skin off those kiwis. Not at my feast. You guys are weirdos that do that. They're so healthy and good.
I like the idea of. I think that'd be a good switch up because like every meal is so like centered around meat. Just to have
Yeah.
like a fruit feast.
It just
Yeah.
sounds like kind of
Fruit medley.
breezy and nice. And on summer solstice, it just sounds very like refreshing and warm and good. So that's what
Yeah.
I want. Yeah.
Great. I'm glad. I'm happy that we aligned on that. That's nice. A bit of synchronization there. Okay.
Yeah.
Final category before we get the heck out of here. I know you guys are hovering over that stop button right now, talking about kiwis and shit. You don't want to, you're not here for that. Okay. So this is yet another charity quiz, is what I called this one.
2 subscription episodes in a row. We talked about kiwis.
Oh, we
That's
did.
true. Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. So $10 goes to charity for every question you don't get right. But for every question that you do, I'll give $20. So this is going to go, I'm going to alternate between you both. And
If I
we'll
get-
each get,
Every question right, I want it to go to me, and charity doesn't get anything.
deal. Okay. You're not going to be asked all of the questions, which is a real. hit
Yeah,
in
but
those
if I go
plans, but-
100%,
Okay. You'll have to let me know if you do. So each of you, so we talked about 4 countries or 4 empires, geographic locations. We got Byzantine Empire, we have Ireland, we have Greece. And what was the other one?
Istanbul?
Oh yeah, India, kind of like the India,
yeah.
the Vedic era, I guess is what it was called back then. But I'm going to ask you each to tell me in which of those regions the following 8 things were invented. And you each get one 50-50, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire rules. You
Okay.
can each ask each other for help once, or you can ask for the clue that I have and can provide for one. So you each get 3 kind of lifelines, if you will.
So we have the Indian one, the Byzantine, the Greek, and the Irish.
Ireland. Yep.
Okay.
And
Okay.
it's either it was invented there or by someone from there.
Okay.
Now, this is going to be fun. Trust me. Wes, you're the first one to go. The fork.
Fork.
The classic dinner fork.
Hmm.
Breakfast fork. I don't know, lunch. All of them use forks sometimes.
I'm going to say The Irish.
Nah.
Okay.
Byzantine, dude. The Byzantine Empire, the 4th century. Well,
$10 to charity.
so you each are going to get asked 4 questions. So you have 3 lifelines left to use. You can use them on the same question or
What
spread
are
them
the
out,
3
whatever you want to
lifelines again?
do. 50-50, so I'll narrow it down.
Yeah.
Ask each other for help, or you can have me read the clue that I provided.
Okay. Shoot, I
So
forgot
Jeff,
about those. I
next
should have
one.
Used one.
Where was democracy invented?
And what are the 4 choices again?
You got Byzantine Empire, ancient Greece,
Ancient
India.
Greece.
Ireland. You got it. Okay, so we're up to $30. Wes, back to you.
So far,
Chess.
it's going to me too.
Yeah.
Chess.
Yeah, so far, Jeff's getting all of it. You need it.
Where's chess invented?
Yes.
Man, I'll do my 50-50.
Okay, it was either Byzantine or India.
I'm gonna go with India on this one.
Oh,
Mike.
you got it. You got it, dude. It was originally called chaturanga. That would have helped. Probably
That's like
help
a
you out.
pose. That's a pose.
Yeah,
you do in
the yoga pose.
Mm.
Okay, Jeff, back to you. Chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Where was that invented? Or someone invented that from this place? Who or where?
It's I can't remember all of them. Ancient
Byzantine.
Greece, Brisbane.
Brisbane. Yep. So you got ancient Greece, the Byzantine Empire, India, Ireland.
It's cut mine in half.
Okay, so it's either Ireland or India.
I'm gonna go with Ireland.
Oh, you got it. I stalled a little bit too long on that, maybe. So apparently, this is just an interesting thing. This would have been the clue, but he went to Jamaica, this guy, Hans Sloane from Ireland. He went to Jamaica and he had this drink where they would just put like a bunch of cocoa in water. And he was like, this sucks. But then he added milk to it. And he's like, this is it.
This
So-
slaps is what he
Nice.
said, probably. Yeah.
Right. It slapped.
It is
Okay.
It holds up still.
It's still good. Yeah, he was right.
To this day. Yep. Submarines, Wes, where were those invented, do you think?
I want your hint. I want the extra hint.
It was invented by a man named John Philip Holland.
John Philip Holland. That sounds more Irish to me than anything of all those places. So I'm going to go with Ireland.
Yeah, that's it. That one's kind of a dead giveaway if you really start thinking about it. I didn't do a good job on that one. Okay. Plastic surgery, Jeff. Where was that invented?
I'm not gonna say ancient Greece. Ireland, Brisbane. Give me
yeah.
your hint.
Invented in 600 BC by the man known as the father of surgery.
600 BC.
Yeah. Think about that.
Brisbane.
That's not an answer.
Byzantine.
Byzantine.
Nope. Probably Byzantine wasn't around by then. It was India. It was crazy. The first rhinoplasty, they would do like skin graft and transfers. This I should have wrote his name down. It's like Shutra or something. But yeah, he was like the largely credited with inventing plastic surgery. I thought that was really cool. Oh man, this one. Wes, the Olympic Games.
Ancient Greece.
Oh,
Dude, the
Come
Olympic
on.
Games were so cool. I wish we still had it. A
just
section
naked
like
dudes
that.
wrestling.
Yeah, it'd be like the 100-meter, but they're all naked and it's like full contact.
And like people die every Olympic Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
We
this is
really
the last
lost
one.
something there.
This one goes to you, Jeff. The grenade.
Where was it invented?
Yeah. I think you still got one lifeline.
I'll ask Wes.
Okay, Wes.
I'm
You
gonna
should
guess
know this.
I'm gonna guess, Jeff, and this is to you. This isn't the answer. I'm gonna guess the Byzantine Empire.
I'll go lock it in Byzantine.
Oh, nice. Nailed it. So ceramic jars full of incendiary liquid. They'd use it in naval warfare. They used it to rebuff the Arab fleets that were besieging the city.
That's like
They
a
just,
Molotov cocktail. That's not a grenade.
Well,
they say that the military history dictates that they were the ones who invented the grenade.
Well,
I mean, you got it right. There's not really a whole lot.
I'm
of it.
arguing on
so
it.
we got all
Take
of
it
them
up
but
with
2.
chesty puller. Yeah, so that means 8. So 6 times 20.
Would you have gotten mine, Wes?
The
plastic
rhinoplasty. No, I would have guessed Byzantine as well. So
I would have gotten yours, but it would have been a guess.
$140 to charity. What? I never choose
We
a
should
charity,
pick a charity.
to go for. Yeah, you guys want to come up with one?
Yeah. The Gates Foundation.
let's not do
Oh,
that. Let's
that's
do
a
a
good
wildlife charity. Let's do Let's do Wildlife SOS. Since we talked about India and we're going to India, they're an Indian wildlife rescue organization I've worked with a bit. They're great. So we'll do Wildlife SOS.
You don't sit on the board. There's no conflict of interest on this one.
I don't sit on the board there. And there's no conflict of interest with me drumming up donations for places I sit on the board.
Well, great. Good work, guys. You guys are like the anti-Steph Currys. You raised some money for charity. I'm proud of you. I think that just about does it for the episode. Any final thoughts? Did you do the fork invented in 4th century AD? That's like, I would have thought that a fork would have come about a little earlier than that, but I don't know. I'm not a cutlery guy.
What's your opinion of forks?
I'm a fan.
I love
positive.
them.
I'm pro fork.
Oh man.
I think they're
I'm all
too
in.
good at what they do.
Huh.
I think
It's an
I think
interesting
eating's
critique.
become like too easy, so it's almost like too boring now. Like in Japan, you gotta use freaking chopsticks, and it's hard. So then you're like earning your meal a little bit more.
It's
Not
hard
just
for
Japan,
us.
too.
They would argue that it's
Yeah.
better though.
Right.
Well, they're wrong.
The thing I like about a fork is that you can also cut with the side of it, you know? It's
Yeah,
a really
do the little-
versatile little instrument.
I mean,
So
you
I'm,
could
I'm
be-
a fan.
Maybe kill someone with one.
I'm sure someone
think?
has at some point.
Yeah,
For sure.
I think so.
So yeah, it's,
Chalk
you
up a kill for forks.
there's a few different things you could do with them.
Sure.
Good call.
Weave
I just watched
something with it, like
Comb.
yarn.
You could use it as a comb.
All
Yeah.
Quiet on the Western Front. A guy kills himself with a fork.
Yeah.
There you go.
So,
Or in Pirates of the Caribbean, that one dumb
yeah, right in his
zombie
eye.
pirate
yeah.
gets it in the eyeball.
That would have killed him, maybe, if he was alive.
Yeah,
Probably
that was
not.
fun. That was a fun scene.
Mike, that was a really fun episode. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
glad.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever tell a joke that good.
I know. we're
Those
all
are the
chasing
best
ghosts.
jokes, like the ones that like make you laugh, like yourself. That's like when you know you got a good one. It's like when you can't
Yeah.
stop laughing at your own joke.
I like to imagine he couldn't even get the joke out. He was laughing so hard already, so no one could understand him.
I love that
that
his joke still hits today, too. Like all three of us couldn't stop laughing.
Mike does that more than listeners realize. I think where he'll like say something that cracks himself up, and he just has to like leave the mic for a bit.
It's so stupid.
Oh, that's great.
I'm never changing though. Okay, well, thanks for listening. Thanks for. I'm glad you knew enough about that story, that first story, that you could kind of shed some light on what may or may not have been happening. That's great.
I'd done the most cursory little glance at it because it came up when people were talking about the recent orca incidents that I did some research into it, and that was like something I was directed to. But I'm really glad you dove into it because it was really fun.
Thanks everyone for listening too, and that's it for me. You guys probably want to say bye and I love you and all that stuff.
Love ya.
Back off, Mike.
See ya.
Love you.